Welcome to Yoga with Susan Kelly. This is your Friday class, and we are still on the road with our hamstrings. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I think the best way to stretch your hamstrings actually is lying on your back, and I hope it's not too early because that's a bit dangerous, but let's make sure that we put enough sensation in the hamstrings to keep you awake. So let's extend the left leg along the floor and take that right foot up. Now, it doesn't matter where the leg is, but it is important that the leg is straight. So let's truly straighten that leg and walk the hands up towards the foot. Make sure the head of the thigh squeezes in. And give yourself enough sensation to give you a job staying relaxed. That's our plan, really, to find that sweet spot that perhaps is not your traditional idea of sweet, but where you can dive into the sensation, and breath by breath, let go. Okay, take one more breath. And release. Bend the leg into the chest and extend it away, and let's take the left leg up. Slowly, slowly. It's more important that the leg is straight than where it is. Make sure the back of the neck is long. And again, walk your hands up towards your foot. Keep the right leg extended. And give yourself enough sensation to engage you, to keep you wide awake. If you're an early morning practitioner, lying down at the beginning of your practice could be a bit crazy. Let's be less crazy. Breathing in, breathing out. Push your back down. Push the leg straight. So check. Yeah, so the humility of checking is part of the yoga practice. And we check. We don't assume that we've got it sorted. We check. We learn from the actual experience that we're having, just like life. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, and let's release that leg. Point both feet to the ceiling and come all the way up to sitting. Part of the path to the hamstrings is finding the outer hips. So let's cross the legs to the outside. Now, we're going to fold forward. Now, if you've already got quite open hips, I'd like you to bring your right foot on top of the left, like stacked legs, which will give you more work in your hips. But everyone, whether you're in stacked legs or cross legs, is folding forward. Bring your hands flat. And can you take this roundness out of your back and lift your chest? Dorsiflex the feet and breathe in and breathe out, giving yourself enough sensation to engage you, enough sensation that you know for sure that you're extending your range, you're not doing something you ordinarily do in your life. We want yoga to be plus, something added, something precious, something to support you along the way. Take another breath. Use an inhalation to walk the hands all the way back and extend the legs forward before you change the cross, so left leg to the outside or left leg on top. If the legs are stacked, we really want the foot over the knee and the knee over the foot. We want the flexion because we want to use these outer hip muscles. And there we are, that was a bit of a groan. I find this quite strong in my hip, but I love the feeling at the same time. Breathing in and breathing out. See if you can find a spreading across your lower back as well as your hip. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, and let's walk the hands all the way back and extend the legs forward. Okay, bring the legs behind you and be closer to the back of your mat rather than the front of your mat. And I want you to line up your hips over your knees. And then this is a bit like dog pose on your knees. We're going to take the hands forward and lift the sitting bones up. So we lift the sitting bones up. Now we really want to be clear about where the hamstrings attach to the sitting bones. So they attach right at the top. We do want to stretch the whole length of the hamstrings. So sitting bones lifting now, lifting, lifting, lifting. And now I'd like you to do the opposite and take the sitting bones and point them down. So it's almost a roundness. Yeah, have a look if you're not sure what I'm saying. And then inhale, lift them. And exhale, lower. And again, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And probably the place we need to be is somewhere in between that, front body lifting. And take a breath, press your hands down. And then walk your hands back. So we're back here with the wrists under the shoulders. And now we'll need to walk to the front of the mat. Okay. Take your right leg back. Lift your front body. Take your left leg back. Lift your front body. And bend your legs. Let's lift those sitting bones again. So dog pose is a great way to stretch your hamstrings. Be really clear about where you need to lift or how you need to tip the pelvis, and pull your navel back slightly. So with the legs bent, we know that it's much easier to tip the pelvis. So take a breath here. Now keep that lift in the sitting bones. Lifting, lifting, lifting. And now lift the legs straight. Push the toes down and lift all the way up through the back of the legs. Keep the heels right over the toes. So for the moment, we are sitting bones in the air, heels high. Okay, part of stretching the hamstrings, we need the hip flexors and the psoas to stretch. So we're going to step that right leg forward and take a lunge. Ankle under the knee, elbow to the knee, hand to the wrist, and press forward. Breathing in and breathing out. I feel there's a surrender in the left hip, but there's also some action pressing forward. We want to be clear about what we're doing, but we also want the process to have something that's quite organic and a little bit natural. Just a bit like life, really. Can't control everything, but we want to be present, clear about what we're looking for. Take one more breath. And let's change sides. Step straight back to dog pose. Take a breath, pushing your heels down now if you can. And then left side, stepping forward. Knee to the floor, elbow to the knee, hand to the wrist, press forward. Again, we're pressing forward, but we're letting go. We're putting those two things together. We're breathing in and breathing out. And if you have a day that has you sitting quite a lot, whether it's sitting in a car or sitting in a chair, this is really fantastic, all this work in the hamstring and the hip flex. Take another breath. And let's head back to dog pose. So I'd like you to be heels in the air again. And this time, let's take the right leg up. I'm going to take that, it's almost like that's out of the way. Squeeze the hips towards each other. Point the right toe, and then slowly, so it's one leg at a time, we're going to lower the left heel. Keep the sitting bones lifting. Keep the rest of this in dog pose. Press the heel down. Press the leg backwards. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll change sides. Lift the left heel. Lower the right leg. Take the left leg up. Not too high. Keep broad across the back. And then slowly lower the right heel. Whoa, you might find it in the calf. And the left leg doesn't need to be too high. We're really focusing on the one leg at a time in dog pose. This is sometimes called a three-legged dog pose, but I guess it's three-limbed dog pose. Take another breath. And then lift the right heel, lower the left, and let's now take this very symmetrical dog pose. Bit of extra length in the hamstrings, the hip flexors. Lots of different ways we can come into dog pose, but dog pose is without a doubt the garlic of all yoga postures. Great for everything. Take another breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay. Lift the heels. Bring the knees down. And there we have it. I hope you feel fantastic, and I hope we found your hamstrings. And most importantly, I hope you're ready to travel your day with your strength, with your sensitivity, and with yoga by your side. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.